only for you.
Hello guys, welcome again. A new live stream about Bitcoin. So let's talk about Bitcoin now with this drop, and now Bitcoin is bouncing. Actually, I wasn't short last week from this point around here, and my target was the MA100. Yes, very good. But you know what? Usually I don't trade weekends, but big mistake because I got stopped 2 times. Here I was looking for more continuation to the downside here, actually a few minutes ago. Yes, so I lost this trade. So I mean, never mind, it's in 4-hour chart. But overall, I mean, my journey right to recover my losses from my small account is very good. Actually, I'm up almost 50%. I recover almost 50% now. So well, I will show you later. So now for Bitcoin in 1-day chart. 1-day chart, I think now is the most important chart right now. Here we have, let me show you here, Bitcoin is about to test the MA55 around here in 4-hour chart. So the projection is like this, right? Like this, and after that, continuation to the downside, okay? In 4-hour chart. So it's very close, around 27,500, 600, around there. That is the area I'm looking for a potential area to start looking for a short position in short term, right? So let's talk about now the 12-hour chart. Let me show you here, same area around here between 27,700, 600, around that area. That is the area we'll start looking for continuation to the downside. So now one thing here is like, it's very important. Bitcoin bounce here from MA100, usually is like that. Usually I see this kind of bounces, as you can see here, but this could be very easy a bear trap if Bitcoin close above $28,500. Any close about there, I will start calling for bear trap, and you will see a continuation to the upside. So, but honestly, I don't think so. The reason is because we have weekly sell signal, yeah. So that's why I am looking for something like this, right? So we are gonna see this resistance to be tested very soon around this area, maximum this area, where is MA55 around there in 1-day chart, and in 4-hour chart, of course, I am looking for something like this, right? Let me show you here, something like this, and after that, continuation here, and here, my friend, here in this drop, this pull-up, we will know if this is bull trap. Yes, a bull trap, because if we see any close below $26,400, well, I'm expecting Bitcoin is gonna test maybe $22,000. Um, let me check the live stream. Yes, okay, it's working. Good. So something like that I am looking for right now. Now, one thing here is like it's very important. We don't have Bollinger Bands forming. I was thinking Bitcoin was forming a Bollinger Bands before, but not anymore. So you can see here, we don't have Bollinger Bands in one day chart. ADX is still positive, very strong, and above 23 level around this line, there is a very good chance you will see continuation to the downside. Okay, so the pattern I'm looking for reversal in one day chart is this one. You see bounce here, and after that continuation like this. This is the move, actually the real move I am looking for Bitcoin in the I mean maybe this month actually. So for now here I think in when the chart is clear, of course there is a buy signal potentially forming, but it will take maybe all this week. So the best scenario for Bitcoin all this week, for example, you see Bitcoin holding this area between 27,700 and also 26,300 around here all this week. Yes, eventually it's gonna form, you will see a bear trap and you will see continuation to the upside. But as I said before, as long as Bitcoin is below, I would say 27,800 in one day chart, the progression is still to the downside. Okay, it's still like this. Okay, so careful here because I think Bitcoin is gonna is started. Sorry, it's starting a new trend. In this case, to the downside. Now let me show you here weekly chart. Weekly chart, Bitcoin is very interesting because Bitcoin tested MA55. As you can see here, the distance between MA55 and MA100 is very small. So I think Bitcoin is a very good chance you will see a major move. Now, I was studying this chart, and I think it's the first time in the history of Bitcoin we have actually this setup. And like when we have Bitcoin above, I mean in between, right? MA100, MA55, MA21, as you can see here. I think it's the first time. I was trying to search another like a scenario like in the past, but I couldn't find any I mean something like that before. So what is this telling me? Usually in my experience, when you see something like this, is because the price is about to move very hard. I mean the price now is very obvious. Any close below $26,000, you will see a major drop, breaking the MI55, breaking the MI21, breaking this one, all the way down to 20K, yeah, in weekly basis. And I think based on this volatility, looks like this could happen maybe very fast. So above 27,800, much better. You see weekly closing about 28K. Yes, I will start calling for 35K. Okay, now it's very easy to read this chart. So careful here because the trend is your friend, and technically Bitcoin is not breaking, not yet the trend in one day chart. Of course, making a new low here, yes, is a very good warning, actually major warning, to see a potential break of the uptrend. Usually when you see something like this, new low, after that you see a new bounce here, and after that, something like this. But what happened last time? We have this low, Bitcoin broke this low, and after that, major rally. The biggest difference between this move and this move is very simple. Here we have buy signal quite strong actually in weekly chart, and here we have a sell signal in weekly chart. So the probabilities to see Bitcoin doing something like this now they are very low. So if we see this bounce here, there is a very good chance it's gonna be a sell opportunity again between $27,700, 800, and 20K, 28K. So that is the area I will start looking for. Of course, I'm gonna be very careful here because actually, as I said, I got to stop it 2 times. I will explain why. First of all, let me show you here. I am using VWAP system. VWAP system here. Let me show you here. As you can see here, I made a mistake here with this system, because this system, the only problem with this is about price action. So I want to show you my mistake. So for example, from this point, as you can see here, this big wap, this one, was acting as resistance, resistance, resistance. And I said, okay, seller line, technically speaking, is not a signal anymore. And this is the reason, because I open a short position here, exactly here, looking for, well, potential invalidation and continuation, right? But what happened? As I said before, for one reason, I said this signal is not a sell signal anymore, because as you can see here, Bitcoin drop a little bit, test the big wap here, and after the bounce, looking for major resistance around this area. Yes, $27,700, 600, around there. And that is the area I will start looking for a potential sell signal in for our chart. So what happened? The profits I made here, now I lost here like 50%. So I'm still up a little bit, but the thing here is like in 4-hour chart, that's why it's a very high risk. So now, if we see that the highs here from VWAP here, this pivot, as you can see here, yes, around $27,400. Usually it's a little bit above here, so I will start looking for something like here, the price a little bit above here, around here. And after that, if you see the 4-hour chart sell signal here, yes, that is going to be the trigger for continuation. Now, if I show you the main VWAP, like it's going to be resistance, is this one, when the high of $31,000, and is above 20, is around $28,500. And this is very simple. If you see volume profile, this is the block, right? This is the bottom of the resistance, as you can see here. Where is this green box? And this is the top. Any close for Bitcoin about this area, $28,500, technically speaking, based on volume, you will see 35K. Yeah. But as I said before, the price action right now, the difference between, for example, one of the rules in classic technical analysis is when I say, hey, when you see breaking the previous low, that is the beginning of a downtrend, right? So you will see a bounce and after that continuation. That is something you will learn in classic technical analysis. But here we have a very good example, like actually that is not always true. We have this low, and after that become broke this low. Okay, downtrend here, and after that, what happened? Major bounce, so hard, right? So technically speaking, Bitcoin is still what it was in uptrend in one day chart. It was right from this point, as you can see here. Let me show you here. As you can see here, this big one was acting as support here for maybe more than 1 month. As you can see here, after the bounce, and now it's breaking here, testing here, and technically speaking, this could be a bear trap. Okay, so that's why it's better just to wait for confirmation. It's better way to go, because technically speaking, using big wall system, Bitcoin is still in uptrend. Of course, the technical analysis here is different because different systems, different views, right? But as long as Bitcoin is about, let me change the color here. As long as Bitcoin is about this green line here with VWAP system, around $23,000, is still in uptrend in 1 day chart. Okay, in 1 day chart, as you can see here, this is still in uptrend. How I will change my technical analysis here is very simple. I want to see a weekly close. I know, yeah, actually a very strong close up below 20K. But if you see that close, that means Bitcoin will hit 10K. So that's why this green line here, you see here, is critical, extremely important, very important. Okay, so right now here, Bitcoin is still in uptrend. Yes, it is. So I cannot change the technical analysis because we saw this drop. I want to see something like this. Let me show you here. We have this big wap here. Yeah, we have this big wap here. It was broken. Yes, I want to see something like this. I want to see something like this. Okay, this is the bounce here, a little bit sideways here. Yes, and after that, like this. This move, yes, is gonna be the move calling for reversal in 1 day chart, and after that, yes, you will see $22,000. Okay, but as long as Bitcoin is holding or is still in sideways here, is you see Bitcoin using sideways within this green box between $26,000 and $28,000, around there. No, $27,000, 500, 600 all this week. This could be a very easy bear trap. Okay, so not today, of course. We will have to wait maybe 3-4 days something like this, right? Something like this, sideways, sideways, sideways. And after that, in some point, when you have a buy signal here in one day chart, potentially that is going to be the continuation. No, one thing here is you need to understand we don't have always the variance here. We don't have always the variance here. So if we see this move usually is just a bounce. It's not like very strong, not like reversal from here 40k, 50k. No, probabilities to see Bitcoin at 40k, 50k this year is zero, technically zero. Yeah. So you are buying this narrative on Twitter, Bitcoin will hit 50k, 45k this year. I don't think so. I think there is a very, very low probability to see Bitcoin at that level this year. So Bitcoin actually for all this year is gonna be between $35,000 maximum and maybe 20k all this year. It's gonna be in sideways. That is the point. So let me show you here higher time frames. In 5-day chart, we still have the variance variance, as you can see here. It's still playing. Usually it's 45% in average drop. So from this high here, yes, 45% should be around, well, 20k and even more, 17k. Of course, I'm not saying that is going to happen, but based on the price action here, of course, back testing, that is the average move. So as I said many times, as long as Bitcoin is holding 20k, everything should be fine. I mean, for me, this drop in the long term, right? In the long term, this drop should be a buy opportunity, not a sell opportunity, okay? You want to sell something, it's now between $27,000 and 30k. That is the area here is for selling, not for buying. And here, you see, oh, Bitcoin is at 20k again. Oh my God, sell everything because it's going to crash. No. That is not the mentality, okay? At least for me. Now, let's talk about weekly chart. As you can see here, we have a new close, clear sell signal here. As you can see here, this is a clear sell signal. It's still in progress. It's still to the downside in weekly basis. So something like this, okay? Now, let's talk about, usually I don't show this chart, but it's worth it to show this. It's a two bi-weekly chart, as you can see here. Any close below, yes, 27,500. Let me see. This week, if you see Bitcoin closing below 27,000 this week, you will see potential sell signal forming here, and that means, well, Bitcoin is gonna be in sideways or even dropping for the next 4 months, I think. So in general, I think Bitcoin is doing good, yes, because it's still above the MA55 here. Let me show you here. Let me switch to my traditional system. Save, okay. Let me show you here. Okay, good. Let me show you here. We have why? Okay, let's try again. Okay, so here is this one. Yes, good. Let me show you here. We have the weekly chart. Yes. Let me see here. Yes, the monthly here. $23,000. Remember what I said? It's a critical level in VWAP system. Well, it's very interesting because the ME55 in the monthly is there. Technically speaking, any close below in the monthly, I mean weekly chart, closing below $23,000 below the ME55 in monthly is gonna be enough to see Bitcoin at 20k, even lower. Another test to 17k. Honestly, I don't wanna see that test. Okay. If you want to know more about my technical analysis in the long term, well, I will post actually today a new update for my long-term projection for Bitcoin. So, but in general, like as long as Bitcoin is about 20,000 above there, everything should be fine. So this is the critical level. As I said before, here is the lowest point I can see Bitcoin. I'm not saying it's gonna hit this level. The only thing I'm saying, as long as Bitcoin is above this area, everything for me should be fine. This yellow box is extremely important, not for now. I mean, not for right this price, it's for all this year. As long as Bitcoin is trading above this level, everything, technically speaking, it should be fine. Now let's talk about the bi-monthly chart here. Sorry, the bi-monthly here. As you can see here, the seller line is about to be tested. I mean, in 4 months, I think, maybe in summer. And you see the seller line tested here, and it's about the MA55. The bottom is already in, and you will see 2024. I think it's gonna be very good for a bull market, but in the long term, right? So now let's talk about it in the short term. Short term, as you can see here, Bitcoin is about to test the MA55 here. Of course, where is my green box here? Remember what I said, around this area. This is the area, the yellow box in this case. This is the area for a short volatility contraction here, as you can see here. So the next sell signal in 4 hour chart for me is gonna be like this. It's gonna be like this. That's it. Okay, there is not other technical analysis I can tell you right now. The trend is your friend. In 4 hour chart is to the downside, where the volume profile is here, as you can see here, is between $27,300 and $27,700, around there. So maybe today we will see Bitcoin at this level, and from there you will see this continuation. The question is, if this drop is gonna be enough to break the MA100 and 1-day chart, because if we see that drop or that break, yes, officially Bitcoin is gonna be in downtrend in 1-day chart, and eventually, as I said before, it's gonna hit 23K. Now let's continue with, well, all the markets, altcoins, they will bounce, testing the MA55 and 4 hour chart. I'm almost pretty sure, like mostly all of them, they will do that kind of things. Let me see, for example, I don't know, Ethereum, for example, right? Ethereum, you see, testing the MA55 here. I think today is gonna be green, and maybe tomorrow, the next 24 hours, is gonna be red again, because Bitcoin, remember, we have a sell signal in weekly chart, so you cannot expect new highs, new ATA, blah 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 blah, if you have a sell signal in weekly basis, at least sideways for 4 months. So as you can see here, many altcoins, well, yeah, they are not moving, many of them. Yeah, so they are even not following Bitcoin, so this is very bad. And the reason is because the weekly chart is clear for me. As you can see here, testing 55, maybe a little bit more, maybe 6.80 for link, but in general, this bounce you see here for me is gonna be a sell, of course, in the short term. Let me explain one more thing here, how invalidation, like, because now I know people, they say, oh, but we have a potential 1-day chart forming here. Okay, you need to understand something. Okay, there is no volume. The volume is totally destroyed here for Bitcoin in 1-day chart, as you can see. This drop you saw here, maybe in price it was not significant, but in volume, yes, it was. As you can see here, very, very, very destructive here. There is no Bollinger divergence. There is nothing here to support, like to say, oh, Bitcoin is forming a Bollinger divergence here and it's gonna pump. No, technically speaking, we don't have Bollinger divergence. As you can see here, we don't have Bollinger divergence. And let me see, in 4 hour chart we have Bollinger divergence. Yes, in 4 hour chart we have Bollinger divergence. I think it's already play out. I mean, it's very close. I mean, very soon. I think today we will see the last pump around this area. And as part of this Bollinger divergence, we have here from this point and this point. In OBB, we don't have Bollinger divergence, just this one. But when you see the price bouncing like this and volatility is contracting instead of expanding, is when you will see your, in this case, bull traps. And of course, in 4 hour chart. Now, let's talk about the 1 hour chart. And here is very tricky because, for example, here, when I open my short position in 4 hour chart, I open it here, looking for actually this break, because we have, you see, high, 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 low, and low. 3 strikes of better divergence forming here, also here. I said, okay, so maybe I can open a short position here, looking for maybe a potential test to this region, and just Bitcoin just pump. That's why I gotta stop it. So, but that, it doesn't matter. I mean, in 4 hour chart, remember, it's just very high risk. In my case, I really prefer to trade in 1-day chart. Like, I feel more comfortable, but never mind. I do that because, you know, in this live stream, people, they like to see a small time frame, right? Because they want to trade every day. That's good. I mean, that's fine. Okay, so let's continue. The next one is I'm gonna check the USD dominance because I wanna see something bullish here to say, okay, this is continuation. Let's see 1-day chart. Okay, first of all, here we have a better divergence forming here. Okay, so this is something actually good. This is something actually good. Yeah, because if we see this variance confirmation, you will see this area tested here. So potentially the drop we saw here and potentially the buy signal we could see in 1 day charting for Bitcoin maybe is gonna be enough to see Bitcoin above 28k. This is looking like this, right? Of course, but I cannot be better sure because as long as it's above this point of control and volume profile, this should be just a pullback to what? Continuation to the upside. So now let's talk about the weekly chart because we have a new weekly close. It's still the momentum ADX positive, the momentum is still to the upside, okay? So I think, yes, Bitcoin is gonna bounce here. Potentially the 1 day chart is gonna, we will see a bounce, but I am not expecting that bounce is gonna be like very strong enough to say, Bitcoin will hit 35, 40k. I don't think so. But the thing here is like this thing is still to the upside. About timing is a little bit concerning here. I think all this month we will have to wait. So so that's why I think right now the best thing we can do, at least in my case, what I'm doing right now, in the very short term, I am looking for a short, right? In very short 4-hour chart, okay? But what I'm going to do is this: if we see Bitcoin at this level, I will open a short position, and when you see, I see again this level tested here around maybe 26,300, 400, I will just close my position because potentially we could see a buy signal in 1 day chart. And if we see this buy signal in 1 day chart, this is gonna tell me Bitcoin is gonna be in sideways for all this week doing this. And you know what is gonna, you know what is gonna, this is gonna be a classic setup for a bear trap, where in some point you will see a bounce. Okay, that's why I will be very careful. Remember, because technically speaking, Bitcoin is not breaking the trend, not yet. The trend is still to the upside. Okay, the trend is still to the upside, as you can see here. This is an uptrend. Bitcoin is still an uptrend in 1 day chart. Okay, please try to be careful here because now I was reading in the morning, I opened a big short position, lifetime, the biggest short. I will be very, very careful with that kind of things, because the trend is my friend and the trend is not broken, not yet, at least for Bitcoin. So careful here. Of course, in weekly chart is looking bad, yes, but remember, stock markets, Bitcoin, they have monthly buy signal. Yeah, so I know weekly chart is very important, but monthly is more important. So we have here a buy signal in the monthly. Also SP500, SP500 has also a monthly buy signal. So instead of looking for a major short, I will start looking for buy in the long term, right? So if I see a drop here, for me, it's gonna be a buy opportunity, not a short opportunity in the long term. If I am shorting Bitcoin, it's gonna be just in the short term 4-hour chart, maybe 24 hours trade, and that's it. I am not looking for my major shorts for Bitcoin or any asset right now. I am getting ready for the next bull market. By the end of the year, 2024. Okay, so careful here because I am not bearish on Bitcoin. I am not bearish in the stock market. I know maybe for you, no, it's because the banks, they will crash, states, blah, 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 blah. Yes, you want to follow that narrative, it's totally fine. But in my case, I have a system of trading and I follow my system of trading. If I have a buy signal in the monthly, the only thing I can do is just respect my system of trading. Okay, so my only one assumption is this: Bitcoin, if we see this drop here, as long as it's about 20k, for me, it's gonna be a buy opportunity, not a sell opportunity. Okay. Now, everything could change, of course, yes, if I see Bitcoin closing below 20k. Weekly chart, not 1 day chart. Weekly chart closing below there, yes, I will start calling for maybe 10k, but I don't think so. I think the probability to see Bitcoin at 10k this year, honestly, for me, they are very low, very, very low. Okay, guys, I think for technical analysis, I think that's it. If you have any questions, just let me know. I want to show you, let me see here. Yes, I want to show you one project I've been working like almost 1 year, and I'm gonna study my small account with all of you guys, the progress with this small account. I'm going to explain, and let me show you here. This is my small account here. I used my small account in 2022 as for testing in my systems. Every 4 years, I build a new system or I improve my system and I put some money in the table to start using trading. Let me show you here. This is the chart. As you can see here, profits. I was in profit, and after I started testing in January, as you can see here, and little by little I was losing, right? Because it's a part of, well, every time when you want to test, the best thing is like, of course, people will say, paper trading, yes, it's free, yes. But the thing here is like, when after many years trading in the markets, the best thing to do is you have to put some money in the table. You wanna test the system in the real world, trading, right? And after that, in some point, you see the pivot was almost 15K. I was in red. Now, of course, I built the systems after 3 months, and I improved the VWAP system, and since then, I said, okay, so now it's time to start looking for recoveries. As you can see here, now little by little, right? Now I recovered almost 50%. This is, I started this like in March, April. In 2 months, I recovered almost 50%. The goal is I want to put this in green, but as you can see here, we have the score in this application. The score where actually my score was around 3 or 2, and now almost we are 50%. Of course, above 50%. In the score is like from 1 to 10. That means, well, I'm above 5%, 5 points, sorry. That means, well, my system of trading is improving. Now, let me show you here the profits. For example, here, last 7 days, I was minus 10K, and now I am minus 9K. So overall, it's improving. Now, as you can see here, the wins and losses, of course, I still have more losses because the past, but little by little, the gap between the wins and losses, it actually was massive. Something very interesting here is like you can see, for example, all your metrics here. As you can see here, we have the profit factor. You look at this. The last 7 days, I increased my profit factor almost 10%. So the goal of this system, of this application, like actually you can use it, is to study your performance. Because you see the exchanges, actually, for example, Bybit, Bitget, Binance, always they will just show you your P&L and that's it, right? But they don't tell you how good or how bad you are as a trader. Well, this application is gonna tell you your reality. Because if they tell you you are very bad or you're a gambler, maybe you will not maybe trade anymore. And of course they will lose money. That's why they just want to keep you into, right? Addicted gambling, right? So this application is going to tell you your reality. For example, here, everything, the chart is very good. As you can see here, the last 7 days increase of 10%. It's amazing here. The win rate almost 1%, very good. And you see lose rate is 0%. That means it's very good. Average duration trade, this is like 30 minutes because I'm short term. So why is 30 minutes? Is because in the beginning, when I started in January, I was scalping, like, because usually I test my systems like 50-minute chart, 30-minute chart, 1-hour chart, 4-hour chart, and so on. That's why I have too many trades like open and close in a very, very small time frames. But as you can see here, for example, here, profits here, now you can see I just started with 2,000 and now I am 37,000, but my losses here, as you can see, is 45. So I am down like 7K. Totally fine, because I was using this. I was using this account for testing my systems of trading. But my win ratio, for example, here is increasing. Before it was 0.45, now it's 0.47, and it's increasing. My lose ratio, as you can see, is decreasing. So that means I am improving as a trader. And for example, here the profit factor is one of the most important here. I think we need to work with the scale because maybe there is a bug here, but well, never mind. So Mexico, okay, there are some interesting here metrics. For example, here, how many wins in a row? For example, 7 wins in a row. You see, 7 wins. That is the maximum, like, like the best week, for example, right? And the losses, for example, average consecutive losses here is almost three trades. I have a rule every time when I lost more than 2-3 trades, I stop trading because I don't want to just, emotions, right? Emotions. I have to control my emotions. And now the major feature here is this one is very interesting here. For example, I had the profits here, and now with artificial intelligence, the artificial intelligence is gonna provide you, this gonna explain you what is this metric, what is the goal of this metric, and also the artificial intelligence is gonna study your chart and it's gonna tell you if you are good or bad. If you are bad, actually, it's gonna provide you some feedback. If you are good, well, it's gonna keep maybe telling you like, keep working, right? You are doing good. So, but this is something like actually very, very interesting here, because now many traders, I am pretty sure many of you don't know what is a profit factor. You don't know what is an average ratio. You don't know maybe the meaning of many metrics here. So what are, for example, risk and reward ratio? What is this? So with artificial intelligence, you will know what is the meaning, and so that means you will see actually where you are. So this application is still in development, it's still in process, but maybe little by little I will start showing you the progress here. If you want to use it for now is supporting BitGet and Bybit, of course, futures. If you want to use it, please let me know. Maybe you want to see your reality, or maybe you will be scared, right? Oh my God, I don't know how bad I am, right? Yeah, this is my small account. My main account, my score is around 7.80, around there. Of course, I don't have here my main account because I open your swing positions. I mean, minimum 1 day chart. So I open a swing position for maybe 2-3 weeks or even months. That's why I use this one, because in my main account I have useless data. Okay, so I'm gonna continue with some altcoins, or coins, whatever. If you want, you ask me. I think I have just one. Let me switch to the the charts. Okay, good. So what I said before, I think you must be very, very careful if you are thinking short, all in, right? Because I think people, they are getting extreme. This is, for example, this is to the upside still. Still to the upside. ADX is positive here. Of course, it's testing the previous high here, but as long as the ADX is positive here and volume is healthy, no short positions for me. This is, if you're thinking to short here, or because it's testing here, or no, sell signal here, my friend, I think you will get wrecked. So be careful here, because this is not a short position, not yet. You will have to wait for something like this, ADX negative here, yes. And also the major warning here is that the volume is very healthy. This thing actually is still powerful in weekly basis, right? In weekly basis. Now let's talk about the 1 day chart. 1 day chart here, we have a better variance. Yes, in 1 day chart is very obvious here. Better variance from this point and this point, where the target should be the MA55. If you are in short here because you are thinking, oh yeah, it's gonna crash to zero because the banks, blah 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 blah, I think you will have just one more chance to get out of the markets. You are in short. So this drop here, and that's it, because the trend is your friend and the trend is to the upside, and I don't see any signs of weakness for the Nasdaq. So careful here, because I think if you are thinking to short here because everything is going to zero, maybe you will go to zero. Maybe you're in short. So here, yes, better variance in 1 day chart here, where the volume profile is around here. So let me see the 4-hour chart here. 4-hour chart, we have a better variance in 4-hour chart. Yes, volume is healthy. I will be careful here, because even with this 4-hour chart better variance, there is no better variance in OBB. So I wouldn't be surprised if this thing keeps pumping a little bit more, 330, around there. If you see any close about this pivot here, you will see a pump, a breakout here. So careful. Risk management is the most. So, well, that's it. Okay, so Cardano 4-hour chart and 1-day chart. 4-hour chart is a bounce. Like all the altcoins, they are bouncing right now. All the altcoins, they are bouncing. Let me show you here. You see 4-hour chart tested here. A 4-hour chart. And when you see this here, around here, 0.377 around there, and it's like this in 4-hour chart. Okay, in 4-hour chart. In 1-day chart, Cardano, we have a potential. Oh, wow, impressive. We have a buy signal here with Cardano, but I think it's not smart to follow signals right now in altcoins. I think the best thing to do here is check Bitcoin, what it's doing right now. So technically speaking, this is a buy signal here where Cardano should be in sideways, at least sideways here, sideways and bounce. Okay, in 10 days. But if Bitcoin drops, doesn't matter this buy signal. Remember, altcoin will follow Bitcoin. Okay, so that's why careful here, because any close below 35 cents, you will see Cardano up 0.30. So yeah, that is the best thing I can do here. In my case, yes, I am waiting for Bitcoin, and in some point when I see Bitcoin again bullish in macro time frames, weekly chart, maybe in 2-3 months, yes, I will consider to buy altcoins again, but not now. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, Kevin, I know it was same as Bitcoin, but support and resistance. As I said before, it's still 7.37, almost 0.38 cents, and the lowest point is 0.35 cents, 0.36 cents. Link 1-day chart and weekly chart. Link. Okay, 1-day chart here. We have a bullish divergence here. The only problem with the setup here is the ADX is still positive, so I will be careful here, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see a $7 to be tested here, MA55 in 1-day chart, and after that continuation to the downside. Okay, this thing is still in sideways. You are just trading a range from this point and this point. Okay, so now you are in the bottom area. So I will start looking for a buy opportunity, maybe around 5.50, 60, around there, and from there maybe potentially continuation to the upside. Okay, so let's continue. PLTR. What is this? Okay, interesting. Well, first of all, here in 1-day chart, no thank you. This is not with me, right? Because this is resistance, as you can see here. Area of supply here, no thanks. Of course, not short, not yet. And also, let me see 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, I think it's gonna, you will see a pullback here around maybe around $8, but for me, it's not a short. It's just ping pong, you know. This is here, sell and buy around here. In my case, I would start looking for maybe a potential buy continuation, maybe here. If I see maybe 8.40, 8.50, let me see weekly chart. Weekly chart, this is the 55 here. This thing, honestly, for me, is looking for accumulation. It's looking like accumulation here. Like this, sideways here for more time, and after that, eventually, you will see a breakout. Okay, so could you, okay, let me see. What is that? Yes. Wow, what is this? Okay, first of all, I cannot be like extremely bearish here in weekly chart. Of course, it's looking not good, but this is the pivot I am looking for here, as you can see here. Potentially a bounce here, yes, but overall volume is garbage. And yes, from a potential here, any close below here, you will see a major breakdown. Let me see the week monthly, because I am curious. Okay, there is no volume here. Oh my god, what is this thing? Let me see. Well, doesn't matter. The thing here is like I will start looking for a buy opportunity maybe around 66 in higher time frames, around here, around this yellow box. Because as you can see here, curve, in any moment, maybe in 3-4 months, you will see a buy signal, but volume is totally garbage. So if you see a bounce, potentially in the long term, 75 will be the resistance. So let's talk about the 1-day chart here. 1-day chart, no, thank you. I'm still looking for a more downside, maybe 66. Yes, this yellow box in some point. Okay, so use 2000. Okay. Okay, this is like this. Okay, this is like this in 1-day chart, where the target should be the MA55 here around $1,800. That's it. There is no volume. There is no volume divergence right now. So any close below 1720, you will see a breakdown of this thing. Let me see here in weekly chart because I want to know what is happening here. Yeah, if you see a break, the next target should be around 1500 or 600 around there. Let me see the monthly here. We have a monthly buy signal here. More sideways, I think. I think it's not gonna break down. I think it's gonna be just like this. More sideways, 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 like this. Death. Okay, guys. I think that's it. Yes, I think that's it. So recap for Bitcoin. As I said before, I lost a trade in 4-hour chart because Bitcoin was pump in 1-hour chart, very small pump. This move is like, I gotta stop it here with this move. So what I'm doing right now is very simple. It doesn't matter which system you're using, but overall, the area I am start looking for a short-term, right? Short-term position, short-term short position is around this area between $27,700, 500 around this area. If you see with the traditional system, it's about around the ME55 in 1-day chart, and also with BWAP. And let me show you here is around this area. Let me show you here. Oh shit! Sorry. We use BWAP. As you can see here, this yellow line here around, yes, 27,500, 600. If you see the 1-day chart here, it's gonna be around the ME55. So that area for me is gonna be a very interesting place to maybe start looking for a short position. Yes, but of course with confirmation, not because it's testing the line, you are gonna open a short. No, you have to wait for the sell signal. It's better right now to play safe